Hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? My name is Edward, and I am back for the sixth episode of me analyzing The Last of Us Part 2 for the PlayStation 4. I have beat the game, and I am reviewing all the gameplay footage that I recorded and analyzing every segment, every scene that was presented uh, in the game in The Last of Us Part 2. I love the game. There are things that I dislike or I'm not 100% on board with the direction that the story has taken, but nonetheless, it is a very, very good game. Uh, Highly recommended. And I'm here just to give my thoughts and opinions. I'm here to share some clips from my gameplay, as I mentioned, and to dissect into designs about it. So please join me on the sixth episode, and I hope you guys can follow me on Instagram. You can also follow Walk on Instagram, and if you would like, you can download my free extension for Google Chrome called Walkway, where you can see beautiful pictures of El Salvador every time you open a brand new tab. So let's begin. Now, the first clip I wanted to talk about was that every segment in Abby's campaign is very fun, very entertaining, uh, much more intense, aggressive approaches. But I find that all the environments are varied, and a lot of people don't like Abby for a lot of reasons. One, because she killed Joel. She killed our favorite character, our most beloved character, but that's not reason to hate the game and to rate it bad, to rate it negatively, just because of that. It doesn't. It's not fair, and a lot of people are doing that, and I don't think that's just. So, during Abby's section, we're going to learn a lot about her and her friends, her struggles, her backstory, what she's interested in, everything about her. Because we don't know anything about her at all. So, once we have finished the first part of the game, which is with Ellie's campaign, the second part has to deal with Abby. And here as I mentioned, we're just learning about her personality, her past, and her goals, her desires, and her pain. To try to create empathy with this character and try to understand her reasoning for why she killed Joel, and just to try to give more flavor to her personality, because from what we saw, she's a very cruel person, and people got a sour taste in their mouth because of that. Abby, in her campaign, we're going to be seeing a lot of cool new skill trees. She picks up different manuals, and that's just really interesting to see that Naughty Dog put in more detail. They went the extra mile. They just weren't just going to give us a new campaign without adding a bunch of other features. It would have been stale, and then I think we would have gotten even more upset if it was going to be a repeat of Ellie's. It's good that they added, a lot more new interesting uh, elements to Abby's story. It helps a lot, and I really do believe Abby's a great character. I dislike that she's very hateful, but she has a great campaign. Like, I can't deny it. Like, there's good story to her stuff. Uh, there are also little mini games where you can partake, and in these games specifically, in one of them, Two of them actually are competitions. They have to do with shooting. One of them is in the beginning of Abby's campaign, where she's in the shooting gallery, and the second one is right here, where she's in the aquarium with Owen. And if you get a good high score, you can get a trophy. Now, Abby's campaign is very dark. It's a lot more dark, gritty. A lot of the things are unexpected. So like, it's a whole other. It's on the opposite side of the coin, but we we get to see much more now. We get to see the sides of the enemies. We get to see the lives of the enemies, because we see Ellie and the people in Jackson, all those people as as the good people, as the protagonists. But in The Last of Us Part 2, we get to play as the antagonist. And it's really great to see both sides and to learn more about the enemies and what they're going through. That adds a lot more flavor to the game. And these enemies are called scars. They whistle in Ellie's game, in Ellie's portion. They whistle and detect her, and they're like an old, I'm gonna say they're like an antique type of resistance group, where they use old philosophies and I guess teachings, traditional conservative ones, closed-minded ones. Uh, they're a religious group, and people get offended of that in games, but they shouldn't. Now, Abby has in Abby's campaign, we are learning about her sex life and her relationship with Owen, and the whole love story, and to try to understand what's going on. It's really wishy-washy. It's really sketchy, like the whole relationship and everything that goes on. Uh, yeah, there's a sex scene, and people find that uncomfortable or unnecessary. R- Regardless of what they think, we're playing a game here, and it's a form of art and storytelling. But there are like topics and things that could have been avoided. Could have found like another interesting uh, theme to discuss, and to just to show a sex scene. It's not necessary. I guess for writing, for cinematic purposes, I just find that it's going the easy way, the easy route. But yeah. So let's continue. Uh, this next clip is basically where we find out about this transgender uh, topic that's also discussed as a controversial uh, theme in The Last of Us Part 2. Uh, there is a character called Lev, which is from the Scars, the Seraphites, the opposing enemies. Uh, and Lev is actually a girl named Lily. And Lily was forced into marriage. She was supposed to be someone's wife, but she shaved her head trying to become a boy, because that's what she feels inside. This reminds me of Mulan, that she wants to be a warrior and follow in her sister's footsteps. But well, the thing is that the people in this village, in this religion, they're like chosen for their designated job, their role in society, sort of like the book, The Giver. Um, but yeah, it's I I mean I don't see that it's very necessary to bring out that topic because they don't really get into detail. They just cover the surface. They just mention it, but they don't delve deep into it. Okay, anyways, what I do appreciate about Abby's campaign is that, as I mentioned, they give you different features that are not seen in Ellie's. So you have a different skill set, skill tree, you have different weapons, and even small details, like small subtle changes, like when you go to the workshop and it's not always electricity, but it's like a lamp, like a lantern to turn on the lights so you can like modify the weapons. I think that's very cool. That's very cool. That's a good detail. Just to try to add something, variation. Now I love this part. Uh, the atmosphere. You feel the vertigo when Navi's moving down. This whole scene when they're in the sky. This game is great. This game is great. Abby's campaign is great. A lot of people on the internet are just bitching. Okay? That's the truth. They're just trying to find ways to hate on this. And when you see quality, when you notice quality, it's hard to deny what's going on. And I see, like The Last of Us Part 2, a lot of quality. It's great stuff. It's great stuff. I mean, sure, the controversial topic's fine, but you know what medium, what work of art doesn't have controversial topics? Everything changes, everything's a step forward. Even though it might not seem normal or like, I guess, traditional, common, who cares? The Last of Us Part 2 is a great game, and scenes like this are present throughout the whole game. It's triple A quality. The combat's great. Love the combat. So much better. It's the same as the first one. They just refined it. That's it. They didn't ruin it. They didn't go back and say, no, we should take this out. No, they just said, let's move forward to make it even better. And that's what I love about this game. That's what I would love people to also understand. To give this game a real chance. To stop being so judgmental and letting everybody else's thoughts, ruin their perception without even playing the game. Boss fights are amazing too. But I mean, even though they're very, very few, they're highlights. They're one of the big highlights too as well in The Last of Us. There weren't enough boss fights in the first game. And they're not a lot at all. There's just 2 or 3 maybe. But they're unforgettable, that's for sure. They really are. This game gets intense, and you feel the pressure. You get worried, you get frightened. It's thrilling. Animations are superb. They just Naughty Dog keeps throwing new things at you over and over again, and it's refreshing. That's why it keeps the game. It's not stale. It doesn't get boring. It's the pace keeps moving forward. Very surprising. Lots of surprises in this game.
Am I gonna kill you?
Very gruesome. So let's get back to this transgender topic. Uh, this is the scene where they discuss uh, the whole Lev Lily situation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys agree with these topics being discussed? Do you think it ruins the experience? And besides that, what are your opinions on the LGBTQ community? I don't want any hate comments in the comment section below, but you know, what do you think about them? The whole community and what they're fighting for, and what do you think about Neil Druckmann and the way that he wrote the script along with the other writers, and how they discussed, or how they portrayed this controversial topic. There's no other way to put it. I personally find that it was forced. All of this does not seem organic. Simply because you don't really see this in video games at all, and that much, like in like continuously. There's more topics about, the lesbian, the bisexual, the pregnancies, the transgender stuff presented in this game. In the first one as well. So I find that it is forced. There's an agenda there. There really is. And that is bothersome. Because you're trying to bring politics into entertainment. Which, again, well, we can do that for another story, another video. How's that? Let's get back to this. This section, this portion of the game is fucking insane. I love it. Proning the whole time with the concrete, the sniper hitting the body, you going underneath the water. And then you get to see like the bullets whizzing around, like going through the water. It reminded me of the D-Day levels in Medal of Honor. Very intense, great gameplay. This is innovative. This is great storytelling. I'm like repeating myself a lot, but it's just great. It's the great storytelling, like the pacing, like how it's going, moving forward, right? That is superb. The writing, of course, right? It's also very, very gruesome, this game. But I love it, and we're going to continue on in the next video. Thank you very much for joining me in this one. If you have any questions or comments or anything you want to say, leave it in the comment section below. My name is Edward Oda, and remember, you can download Walkway, which is a free extension for Google Chrome. Take care, you guys. Remember to wash your hands. Later.